Hello and welcome to another episode of Herbal History. In this episode we'll cover the history and ethnobotany of Acacia arabica, also known as the Babul tree. In this episode we'll cover a portion of its natural history, its ethnobotany to a certain degree, and finally some of the medical tests that have been done. Now these tests have been only on rats, and in some cases E. coli, and as such, these treatments have not been approved for human use, or proven effective for human use. Again, if you have any serious illnesses, seek a doctor. If you have minor ailments, and you want to use this plant, again, seek a doctor's advice on that subject. Do not rely on a video maker for your medicine. Now with that disclaimer out of the way, let's get on with it. Now the Babul tree is a perennial shrub or tree that reaches at max 20 meters tall, and at min 2.5 meters tall. This species is found in India and many parts of the world as well. This tree has thorns that are thin and light gray in coloration, blackish stems with branched tips of purple-brown coloration. The bark is rough with a red-brown coloration and with flowers of yellow, with many clusters. It has a range in Africa and Asia, although it's cultivated worldwide. In Africa, it's native to Algeria, Angola, Botswana, Egypt, Ethiopia, Gambia, Ghana, Guinea-Bissau, Kenya, Libya, Malawi, Mali, Mozambique, Niger, Nigeria, Senegal, Somalia, South Africa, Transvaal, Sudan, Tanzania, Togo, Uganda, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. In Asia, it's native to Oman, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Iran, Iraq, Israel, Syria, India, Nepal, and Pakistan. Now on to ethnobotanical studies. For historical context, different parts of this tree have been used to treat, historically speaking, diabetes, skin diseases, and diarrhea. The bark was historically used for treating different stomach ailments, as well as skin diseases, coughs, and gonorrhea. It was also used to treat asthma, historically speaking. Twigs were used as toothbrushes, and the thorns were used to treat joint pain. The sap of this tree was often used, historically speaking, as a treatment for diabetes, dysentery, and diarrhea. A chemical found in this plant called GA that was said to be useful for treating chronic renal failure, as well as alleviate cardiac problems. These tests could not be confirmed, however. The flowers were reported to reduce body temperature by traditional practitioners. It has also been suggested by these practitioners that it's also useful for treating earaches, diarrhea, and dysentery, as well as diabetes. The pods were used as a Viagra, essentially, and the leaves were used for headaches. In Ayurvedic medicine, it is said that can be used to treat hemorrhoids, skin eruptions, leg sores, mouth ulcers, sore throats, and dental infections. It can also apparently be used to reduce the amount of mucus in your nose and treat chronic diarrhea and dysentery. Again, these are traditional views. Whether or not they're scientifically accurate is up in the air. If you have any of these ailments, see a doctor. Now on to some medicine tests. Now we'll cover 3 case studies talking about different possible medical properties that are found in this plant species. Now these are early trials, so do not try to use these as a means to treat any disease unless instructed to by a doctor. In some of these studies, they have not even figured out what chemicals cause these sort of reactions, so keep this in mind when we talk about the cool trials. Let's talk about the anti-diabetic properties of Acacia arabica, or the Babul tree. There was a study involving artificially induced diabetic rabbits as well as normal rabbits. When they fed a seed extract to the diabetic rabbits, there was no change in blood glucose. but when it was fed to a normal, unaltered rabbit, there was a reduction in blood glucose. This indicates that whatever chemicals or chemicals being used to create this anti-diabetic effect works by inducing the release of insulin from the pancreas, and as such, it may possibly be useful as a means of preventing diabetes in pre-diabetic patients, but not a treatment for diabetes itself. Now on to an anti-mutagenic study. Using E. coli bacteria, they used a methyl oleic extract from the bark on E. coli bacteria who were mutated by UV radiation, and the mutation rate was lowered. The mechanism of this process is unknown, but it suggested that the formation of pyrimidine dimers was reset back to normal. Now on to one last final study. If you want me to get into further studies mentioned in this paper, please let me know. An aqueous extract of the flowers showed 11.5 increase in abortion activity in rats, as well as an increase in fetal abnormalities and birth defects. So like everything else in life, there's side effects. Well, that about covers everything. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode of Herbal History.